offense. He was giving them the business. Go back there. Hold on.
This is the 5 Arms and a Lucky Finn podcast.
Welcome to the 5 Arms and a Lucky Finn podcast. I am your host, Brendan McCormick, with my two-side co-hosts, a.k.a. Lucky Finn, a.k.a. Jason Ide. And, of course, I got on the other side, David Soloway. He is for the people. The people are for him. David, breaking news. And Jason and Kenny, breaking news coming out of the NFL world. Max Crosby's trade is denied. Did not go through because the physical did not bring back good results, apparently. David and Jason, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I mean, it's a big hit for the Ravens. You're making this, you're agreeing to this trade, assuming that he's healthy, even though he's coming off of the injury last year that kept him out for a lot of the season. And then it just gets pulled out from under you, which, I mean, they get their first round picks back, so they can still use that to make a trade elsewhere or obviously use those picks. And it was, I think it was a great deal for the Raiders. So both sides, it seemed like a great trade for both sides. So it kind of sucks that it got shot down.
Yeah, I still expect he'll be moved, but it does add an interesting tidbit that they've already gone out, the Raiders, and made a lot of signings. They're expecting that money to be off their books, and now you have to deal with trying to find a new home for him again. And you can tell based on their signing of Linderbaum. I know you're probably going to get into more signings, but their signing of Linderbaum is huge. It just shows that they're focused on that offensive line before they make their big QB pick at number 1. So I'm assuming that they're going to want to spend more money on offensive line. So that kind of puts kind of could delay some signings possibly until they get that deal done to get him moved elsewhere. So, but I'm happy as a Steelers fan to see him out of the division before it ever began. So not upset.
What was the underlying reason, do we think? Was there just something specifically that they did not like, or was it like something minor that they could like find their way out of it because they didn't want it? The Raiders actually didn't want to trade him.
I don't think the Ravens were trying to get out of it. I think they had every intention to get this guy, thinking that he'd be a cornerstone of their defense. And the Ravens obviously are known for having a great defense. So you want a guy like this. I think it's probably the knee injury that he had last year. He tried to play. He wanted to play through it at the end of the year, and the Raiders didn't let him. So was he really rehabbing it, to its full extent? I'm not really sure. I would guess that's what it came from, though, is the knee injury that he had.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out and shakes out, but that is breaking news. Do you think the Raiders actually keep him, David? Do you think that it's something that they're like, oh, we'll keep you now, like psych, or is it just like already the bridges burner?
Think there's any chance they keep him there. That relationship was tarnished at the end of last year when he tried to come back and they said, "You're sitting out. We don't care. You're sitting out." So I doubt it. The only thing is, and Jason brought it up, is it adds a wrinkle here, is if he can't pass the physical with the Ravens, it's possible they agree to another trade. He goes and gets the physical and doesn't pass it there either, which, I mean, that's a lot of money on the books for the Raiders because I think his salaries, it's big salary. So that would be a hit for them trying to rebuild this offseason.
It would be a really big hit. David, another big move for the home team, the home state of the Indianapolis Colts. They decide to push the chips in on Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones and say goodbye to Mr. Pittman as he is off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Jason is excited about that, but what what are your thoughts on this, listeners and viewers, of the Colts making that initial move on Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones? David, what are your thoughts, though, first?
I mean, Daniel Jones, they had to sign him. They had to use the transition tag. The other options out there weren't any better. I mean, they could have gotten someone like Geno or Kyler Murray, but they're not going to draft anybody. They don't have a first round pick, so you keep it in house. You keep your quarterback there. There's already relationships built with the receivers, but the Pierce one's definitely interesting. They chose which one they wanted, and I think this past year, Pierce proved that he's probably a better overall threat at the receiver position than Pittman is. Pittman obviously had some great years there, but it was time to move on. And I think Pierce gives them a different element than Pittman just because he's a deep ball guy. And it stretches the defense a heck of a lot more than Pittman because Pittman's more of an over the middle type guy.
Right. Where I agree with most of what you said on that, but the thing where I disagree with is Alec Pierce got some big money. Do you think Alec Pierce is a top 15 wide receiver?
I don't know. He's still so young. I would say right now, no. But he's what?
Okay.
He's 4 years in.
Yes.
Um,
I believe.
and
Let me verify.
and he had a great year last year. He broke out. I think there's still a lot of untapped potential there.
I agree with you.
And I think Daniel Jones brought out a lot of that potential too, because even you can look at his stats, and I think he had over 1,000 yards.
I'm pretty sure he did too.
But once Daniel Jones got hurt and they brought Phil Rivers in, Rivers couldn't throw it over 15 yards. So the deep ball, it ended there.
Yeah.
So if you really extrapolate what Pierce could have done over a full season with a real quarterback that has an arm attached to his body, then I think, it would have been a lot better numbers, and they're already great numbers.
Right.
I don't think we'd look at this as like maybe he's overpaid as much as we do right now.
The Colts have put me in disarray for years as a fan, David. We decide to go the veteran route, right? And, let's, sign a guy that's on his way out in his last year. And I can go down a whole list. I mean, the viewers and listeners probably know who those QBs are. Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, even had a guy, in what was his name? Matt Ryan. Yep.
They had Nick Foles at one point. They had Joe Flacco.
We've tried this, and it doesn't work. And we decided to draft Anthony Richardson with the 4th pick, and that was a bust. And I called that, and Indianapolis fans got mad at me. I'll never understand that. They're like, "Oh, he has the most potential," and I'm tired of the word potential. I want results at this point as a fan. I want results. And I know, obviously Jim Irsay passing away is very sad, but I was very happy to see his daughters on the sidelines, right, to take ownership of the team. But here's my issue about paying Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce. If this doesn't work out, how many more years are we going to waste trying to find the guy? We had 2 guys. We had Peyton Manning for years. I'm going down. Just give me a second. We had Peyton Manning for years. Got us to two Super Bowls. Probably should have been more, in my opinion. Arguably one of the best of all time. And then we draft another, possibly Hall of Famer if he stays healthy, and we actually give him an offensive line. It doesn't have the most pressures per NFL history. Probably would have him for a few more years. And Andrew Luck could have been a Hall of Famer. Should have been a Hall of Famer. And we just cannot recover from losing Andrew Luck. And it's been this spiral of quarterbacks and a mixture of plugging and playing, and it's not working. And I know they thought Anthony Richardson was the guy. I knew we had to draft a quarterback, but drafting a quarterback after 1 year of decent play in college and just pushing the chips on a guy that was 6. I mean, 1 year of starting, he went 6-6 at Florida.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
The dude was not like
fully based on potential.
I get the move, right? But after 1 year, you could clearly see that this is not the guy.
Yeah,
He just
definitely.
wasn't. He tapping out, doing weird things like that.
Yeah.
I know he couldn't stay healthy, but like after one decent season, and it sucks to Daniel Jones, and I get it, but that he went down and he got injured, and obviously you can't control that as a player. Like stuff happens in football, and I understand that as a fan. But I do not know if those two are worth the price tag. And I'm not trying to be a negative fan, and I am trying to take facts here and put them in the middle.
So here's my counter argument to that.
Right.
If you don't pay those guys, who are you paying?
Yeah. That's where I struggle.
Right.
That's where I struggle, right? And I get it.
And the problem is the year that they had the first round pick, the high, Richardson was drafted fourth.
Yeah.
It was just a bad QB class. Even if they had gotten the first pick, Bryce Young hasn't turned out that great. CJ Stroud had a great rookie year. We see where that's gone.
Yeah.
Will Levis was in that draft. He's not a guy anymore. So
that's who they wanted.
Well, obviously they didn't. They didn't take him.
I know.
Both options would have been bad though. But it was just bad timing that was the draft, that they really did just have to take a quarterback then, because they were doing the stopgap thing year after year with a veteran, and then it didn't work out. And now it's like Daniel Jones at least gave them some stability at the quarterback position.
Correct.
And they traded away their first round pick for this year so that they could get Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
So you're left with the decision of Daniel Jones. What, he broke his leg and tore his Achilles, so that's
bad.
another thing too. Is how well does he recover from that? But the alternatives just aren't great either. So I agree with you. I think that their GM Chris Ballard has actually just completely messed up this whole process, and a lot of it is they lost a generational quarterback in Andrew Luck because he retired young.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to either just fully tank and find a guy, or you got to go pay someone big money or make a big trade. I mean, Deshaun Watson, bad example because it didn't pan out. But the Browns at least were like, we need a quarterback. We're going to actually try to go get this guy. And they went and got him, and obviously it didn't work out. They paid him a lot of money. But the Colts never did that either. So, I mean, he's just kind of screwed up the whole process and trying to pick up the pieces now and put it all back together. And we'll see how they do this year. I mean, I think they should be improved. And they've just been around 500 so often lately that you're just kind of stuck in limbo.
I think Chris Ballard, though, if the Indianapolis Colts don't have a decent year this year, and I mean decent by making the playoffs and coming close to winning the division, I could see him on his way out. The fan base, they're losing the fan base at this point on Ballard. Like, everyone is unhappy with this man and the decisions that have been made, and it's going to be interesting after this next year what they'll do in the results of this season. But I don't know if the price tag was worth those players. Like, I struggle with what Indianapolis, the Colts have paid them, and now your Dolphins are kind of made some big moves as well, David. They they've moved on from Tua. Obviously, Tua's going to Atlanta. What are your thoughts on that move? You were never high on Mr. Tua, anyways, but
yeah, no, I was never high on Tua. I actually hated the pick at the time. Justin Herbert was there. They could have gotten him instead. He hasn't won anything either, but he's shown a hell of a lot better than Tua has, and Tua's got scrambled eggs for brains. So you obviously couldn't have brought him back. He was guaranteed so much money, and you got to get rid of him. Is Malik Willis really the answer? Probably not. I mean, he's not a top tier quarterback, but he's only making $23 million. Which
I was about to say,
you can build a roster around a quarterback that's only making that much. That way, you got to take advantage of this 3-year window and then see where it goes. You got to be able to, use that money elsewhere. They should have a high draft pick. I guess I haven't really paid attention enough.
They should.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they're on the list, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
wanna blurt
But
somebody out, but
turn
a good
turn it
first
around
round,
here
yeah.
and in the next couple of years, and then if Malik Willis is the guy, you sign him to another extension. If he's not, in 3 years, you're going to draft a new quarterback anyway.
They're picking at 11.
Yeah, they can get a guy there.
Yeah, they could definitely get a solid guy there.
It's too bad they don't have the number 1 pick to draft the hometown boy.
Yeah. The man, Fernando. Yeah. Probably on his way to Las Vegas right now. I'm interested to see if his character lasts while he's there in Las Vegas. I'm curious to see if
he
there's
can't be
anything.
tainted. He can't be tainted.
I don't know.
Sin City won't get to him. Come
That is
on.
a good Christian man. There's the city of sins ain't gonna get to that man.
Exactly.
I don't know. He is a saint. But you never know, man. I mean, Vegas does some weird things.
What do you think about the Falcons having 2 left-handed quarterbacks? When's the last time we saw that?
I was thinking about that. I really don't know.
It's rare you see 1 left-handed quarterback. Having 2 is crazy.
I'd love the Colts to go get Penix. I'm gonna say it. At least as a backup.
No comment.
No comment?
Yeah, lefties can't play quarterback in the NFL. We've done this before. We can't run this. We can't run this same conversation back. Lefties just don't work in the NFL.
Yeah. So if they're lefties, they're off your list already.
There's 2 lefties that I think you could name off the top of your head where you're like, those guys were great quarterbacks. And the thing that made them so great is their ability to run.
I was about to say that.
Steve Young and Michael Vick. And there were other ones back in the day. I don't know all of them. But
You're right.
yeah. Lefties can't make it in the NFL.
I agree with you.
It makes a lot of sense for the Falcons to pick up left-handed quarterbacks because all the decisions they make have been asinine. So I'm glad to see it.
Backwards decisions.
What do you think of Trent McDuffie getting history-breaking money to go to the Rams? Is he worth all that?
I mean, he's really good.
He is really good.
A first-round pick and record-breaking money is certainly, that's a lot to give up. But if you have a lockdown corner, the receivers in this league are so good. If you have a lockdown corner, you can go places.
I feel like if you don't draft a lockdown corner, you have to give up quite a bit to go get one. Like the Colts did to go get Sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to
That's because they're a dime a dozen. They're not just growing on trees. You gotta get the guy when you can. It's kind of it's the point I made with the Colts. Like sometimes you just gotta trade picks to get a quarterback. Well, it's the same thing. Like there's only so many great quarterbacks in the league. There's only so many number 1 lockdown corners in the league. When you have a chance to go get one, you should.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Same thing on the flip side. Like if there's what do you think about wide receivers though? Like an all-time, top 3 wide receiver, are they worth all that money? And then
it depends on the guy because the problem with wide receivers is they are divas. AJ Brown is a great wide receiver, big body, great hands, great route runner, speedy,
right?
Bad attitude.
You think he has a bad attitude?
AJ Brown?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just got the worst attitude of all time.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think he's just very inside his head. I don't think it's necessarily a bad
All
attitude.
he does is bitch about Jalen Hurts to everybody. Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. I get he's not like you're
it's true.
Slinging around the field type quarterback. And if you're a receiver, I guess you want the ball. But hey, buddy, you're making $30 million.
And they have the best running back in the league.
He wasn't that great this year.
Well, offensive line needs to help. But
their O-line wasn't great this year. But I mean, receivers have always been head cases. Look at Antonio Brown. Tyreek Hill's crazy off the field.
Yeah.
But he's an awesome receiver.
Awesome receiver. He might get arrested, but he's an awesome receiver.
Right.
He's an awesome receiver. Man.
That's part of the credentials. If you ain't getting arrested or assaulting somebody, you ain't a good wide receiver.
You're not too far
point.
off there.
Yeah, good point, Kenny. That is a solid point. Speaking of wide receivers, David, Mike Evans
Sad.
out of Tampa and his new home in San Fran. How many more years you think this guy's got left in the tank?
Well, he signed a 3-year deal. How old is he?
I don't know if it's 3 years. I'll be honest. That's
Yeah,
probably the
he
max.
might not. He's what, been in the league for probably 15 years.
He's 32.
Oh,
32.
not 15 years.
So Mike Evans has played 12 seasons.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he came out young then.
So
Yeah.
let's play a game of trivia.
Okay.
12 years. You know he's had a lot of years of 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
What is his total yardage? Closest wins.
Oh. 12 years. He's had multiple 1,000 yards receiving seasons, probably more.
I'm gonna go 17,163.
That's very high. I'm not doing that.
25,000. 25,000.
I'll go 13.8.
I don't know.
Brendan wins. It's actually 13,052. So
all he does is get exactly to 1,000.
so out of the 11 years in a row that he had 1,000 yards, because that was the longest streak. In
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, he did not even get 1,100. So they
Wow.
were all, 5 of them.
Dang,
were-
Jay.
And then 2 of them were 1,004 in 2024 and 1,006 in 2020. So
He also had 1,001 in 2017. So yeah,
That's
he
wild.
was really on the edge of 1,000 a lot.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
The dude's a dog. Like it's always
Yeah.
when the Saints play him, that's just like it's always a battle. So he's definitely got 3 years left. Like or even more, depending on how he plays over there.
he's just
So I
such a
don't
good
put it
deep
past
threat.
him.
They just throw him on
Oh,
some
yeah.
streaks and
He's
make
physically
somebody
strong.
cover
I
him.
mean, he's ridiculous.
What do we
Yeah.
think about the loss of one jersey guys in sports? I feel like growing up, there was a lot of these guys who were with a franchise and they stuck with that franchise, even if it meant maybe not going out and seeking the highest amount of money. Like I presume Mike
Right.
Evans either went to the 49ers to hopefully win,
Yeah.
have a better chance of winning than with Tampa, or maybe it was more money than Tampa or more years than Tampa was going to give him. What do we
Mhm.
think about the loss of the one jersey guys in sports?
I would say a lot of times I think it feels like we see the same guy in the same uniform just because we've seen most of their prime years in the same uniform. But if you think about it, even like players like Jerry Rice didn't play in the same place his whole career. Steve Smith is another one. I mean, you didn't see him in Baltimore until the very end. So I think actually it can almost mess with our brains. We've seen so many guys in their prime in the same place for so long that it's weird to see Michael Vick in a Steelers uniform and not in a Eagles or Falcons. And he's a bad example because he played for two prime teams. But you guys get what I'm saying. I think there's it can really twist our brains because the first thing I thought of was Jerry Rice because you guys were talking about receivers, and even he didn't play for the same one for the whole time. So
Man.
you have some big ones that you can think of that were the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's less common in the NFL probably than the NBA or MLB.
Not anymore.
Well, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Oh, that's
like
what you're
back
saying.
in the 90s, 2000s. That's the exact point I'm making. Like the NBA, the only one that comes to mind right now is Steph.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's
I'm
the
wondering if
only one.
we just don't
I
hear
mean-
about. I mean, Cam Jordan for the Saints. That dude's been there. I
That's
mean,
true.
Cam Jordan. I mean, I feel like you just kind of forget them because you're so used to just seeing people.
But Cam
Just
Jordan's
keep
about to
moving and
move
moving
on,
and-
too.
Yeah.
Did
you say Kittle?
Did Tracy McGrady play his whole career in Houston?
No, he played for the
No.
Raptors and the Magic.
Yeah, he played for the Magic.
Oh, that's right. The Magic were before Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Dirk, you had Tim Duncan, you had
yeah.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming. Yeah, you did.
KG only played on 2. but he was
Yeah.
in
Yeah, KG
Minnesota
played for
forever.
2.
Well, I guess when
Paul,
you get this
Paul Pierce
NIL,
would have been one,
NCAA
but then he
guy,
got traded.
D Wade.
D
Chicago.
Wade was not one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played for Chicago and Cleveland. And those players were at when the one jersey thing I think started to tail off.
Paul Pierce,
'Cause,
same thing.
I
Went
mean,
to
I'm not thinking of it right now, but I'm sure there were a lot more players in the 90s when it wasn't as much of a player empowerment era where
Yeah.
you chase the big money in free agency or you're demanding trades because you're unhappy with your situation. A lot of times back then, it was just you stay where you're at.
Dare I say this happened after Michael Jordan?
No, I think it was after that because I think of Tim Duncan and Dirk, like those
Yeah.
guys were
Tony
staples of
Parker,
our childhood.
Duncan.
Tony Parker did he only play for the Spurs?
He played for I think Duncan's on there.
I thought
think he
Tony
only
Parker
played-
went and played.
Tony
as
Parker
he
went
did.
somewhere
somebody
else. The
Yeah.
Hornets. He went to the Hornets.
Yeah, later.
I
in
think
his
that's when
career.
when Chris Paul left the Hornets. I remember everybody starting to move. That's
Yeah,
when
it was that, and then it was the
it's-
LeBron
yeah.
decision. It was Melo got
Yeah.
traded from Denver to New York. Like, yeah, it started happening a lot around then. That's when
Well-
players were trying to team up with each other. That was the super team era.
The most recent NFL ones that have played their entire career in one franchise were actually Ben Roethlisberger for 18 seasons and
That's a great example.
Larry
that
Fitzgerald
is.
for 17.
Another great one.
Yeah.
The other one is Don Mulbach, long snapper for the Lions, 2004 to 2020.
That's what I'm saying. There's probably more of these we don't know.
Well, but I think the point is star players
Yeah.
being one jersey guys.
yeah.
I think we've lost that.
No,
I think
we
of it a lot
definitely
more
have.
in baseball than I do in
Yeah.
baseball. Historically, guys just stayed where they were. Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Adam Wainwright.
Well, now they sign into these ridiculously long contracts too, right? 10 to 12 years.
oh god, yeah, they're extremely long.
144 million or whatever, 200 million. I mean, it's insane. I think the first person to do it was it Harper?
No,
It was
Pujols
A-Rod.
signed a 10-year, and
That's right.
L.A. with the Angels. I think
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera signed a long extension at one point with the Tigers. And then actually, those contracts stopped being a thing for a while because teams
Yes.
realized,
Yeah.
oh, we're committing 10 years
Way.
and 300 million
Yeah.
to a guy that is going to be 40 years old at the end of it.
Yeah.
But then those contracts have come back around recently.
Yes. Especially what was Otani's? Otani's was like
10
what, 346
No.
or something crazy?
10 for 700 million. With 680 million deferred.
Wow.
Yeah. Bad guy.
That's
and Juan
yeah.
Soto's was 15 years, 765 million.
Yep.
15 years. Oh my
It's
Lanta.
like massively deferred.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Dude. Listeners and viewers, if you don't know, my wife is
I love it.
currently working and she loves to hear the side talk. So she likes to, give her opinion every now and then. So
Peanut Gallery.
yeah, peanut gallery talk. That's what we're talking about. Speaking of baseball, guys, World Baseball Classic is happening, and there's this stud of a 17-year-old that is pitching for, I believe it is Brazil, correct?
You got it.
Joseph Contreras,
Yep.
baller, certified baller. I saw a reel. It was like a couple days back or a few days back that Aaron Judge personally went out and talked to this guy and said this guy was pumping some juice, and the stuff that he had, Aaron Judge said he did not have he did not have at 17. Crazy that an all-star MLB, arguably one of the best MLB players right now, came up and said that to him. What would you guys do? Put yourself in his shoes of an all-star coming up to you and saying that type of stuff. How would y'all take that?
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet to hear from Aaron Judge. Like that dude just hits bombs everywhere off of anybody. He doesn't care.
No.
But this guy got Aaron Judge grounded to an inning-ending double play, throwing 98. I mean, he did. His father was a MLB pitcher who won a
Right.
World Series, so he grew up around the game. I'm sure he's seen this before, but still pretty cool to be on this stage and have that happen.
Do we know where this guy is headed? Is he going to college? Is he just going to the minors?
No, he's committed to Vanderbilt. He could get drafted though and forego that commitment.
I was about to say his current draft projection puts him anywhere between 30 and 50. So most likely he's gone if that happens. They're
Yeah,
gonna pay him
I
enough
would
money.
I would guess he'll go.
He'll get over his slot value.
The MLB draft is a wild thing to me. It's just so many rounds. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is kind of crazy.
It's all a money game. It's all like figuring out how you want to allocate your money.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also like auctioneer because
Yeah.
Exactly.
you have so much slot money on each spot.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Guys don't go.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Big
true.
one.
Yeah, I think NIL has definitely probably caused that to go more to college way of people taking that money.
I don't even think it's just NIL. I think it's also people are starting to see a lot of the value of a lot of these younger guys that go to college for 3 years and come out and they're making it to the league a lot faster than they used to.
Interesting.
Especially
and
pitchers,
the majors.
it's hard to take a risk on an 18-year-old when like pitchers, you never know how they're going to pan out when they're 18.
Gotcha.
And they probably need to, especially. I mean, Jason and I talk about watching, LSU and stuff right now. The way the pitchers are throwing, they definitely need to go in college because I don't think they're being taught right, and you can't just throw them out. But also, the majors right now, they, a couple of years ago, they cut a bunch of programs. So, a good way to throw it is college ball now, and I bet you, a lot of these colleges have better facilities and better turnout and fan wise. So so it's very beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I like that take, Kenny. I like that point. Speaking of programs that have been canceled, Purdue Fort Wayne, my alum, they don't have a baseball program anymore. It was axed.
Did they do that this year?
I believe last year they after the end of last year they axed it. So
pretty soon that will be most schools in the country because these schools are not going to have the money to support it.
Yeah, I've seen Iowa State or Iowa cut their gymnastics program.
Wow.
There's a lot of school. I didn't really look into it, but apparently Maryland or Louisville, we're barely making even right now.
Wow.
I think I could be wrong. I think LSU was like they didn't make as much profit as they used to. So it's a little scary.
Kenny, is that do you think more because of the NIL going to football, or is it lower admissions to the schools?
Are you talking about other sports or?
Yeah, because I mean everybody knows football basically makes all the money for everything else.
True.
Oh yeah, I mean it's being all that money's being pulled into. I mean, for some reason, I don't know how our men's basketball team makes part of our profit, which blows my mind because
that blows my mind too.
I think I saw something where it's like football and men's basketball and sometimes women's basketball are really the only profitable sports in college sports.
Yeah.
And it's really because of March Madness.
I feel like that's why Indiana pushed a lot of almost all their chips into football. Like, I mean, signing groundbreaking deals with SIG and the staff. And also, I mean, Indiana wasn't one of the biggest spenders, but they spent a lot on their roster, configuring that. So I believe Indiana made over $60 million from football, David, 90 million in that
Something
range.
Like that,
yeah, it was something absurd, but I mean, it's true, Jason. Like a lot of the funding that people get or the profit is from football, and then men's basketball usually they make probably anywhere to 8 to 12 million. I'm assuming, but it's not as big as football. So college football, pretty big business.
Well, and the thing that's killing all these non-revenue sports is that the schools now have to pay out of pocket. So it's not just NIL, it's not just
Yeah.
collectives now. It's the house settlement that happened last year. Now every school has $20.5 million to spend however they want on their players, whatever programs you want. Well, now they're paying out of pocket. Before, these schools weren't paying any money out of pocket, other than maybe under the table. We know how that happens.
Yeah, we do, unfortunately.
But now they have to pay out of pocket. That's $20 million that every school, I mean, they don't have to spend the whole thing, but if they're spending it, that's money out of pocket that they didn't have to use to spend.
Yeah, I'm reading some of the programs we've lost. I didn't Grand Canyon, they have a really good had a really good men's volleyball program. And they had to cut it.
Yes.
So
really?
It's just and that was the fear. That was my fear when they were doing the whole conference realignment stuff, moving all the California teams going across the country. Like those California schools have sports that no one has, period. So how do you justify even keeping those sports when you have to travel halfway across the country? So
it's a new world.
You want to know some math from the Department of Education, annual profits and losses, and this is 10 years ago, so this isn't even as recent as now, but even 10 years ago, the only profitable ones were football and men's basketball. The top 10 losers were women's basketball, track, baseball, volleyball, soccer, softball, swimming and diving, tennis, and rowing.
That doesn't shock me at all. I'm just being honest from a business perspective. Those sports that are failing. I don't think it's good for the kids, man. That's my thing.
My question all the time is, how much money does women's basketball cost? Because I remember looking one year, LSU women's basketball lost a ton of money. And
they probably will continue to do. I'm just being honest.
And I'm wondering what those expenses are. It's it's
recruiting. It's all recruiting.
I was about to say that.
God.
Yeah.
You're flying all across the country to recruit. During the summer, you have to go to AAU tournaments every weekend.
Yep.
You got to send your coaches. You got your head coach and 3 assistants. You got to send all of them to different places. So it's not like you're saving money carpooling, basically.
Yeah.
It's all on that. And women's basketball just doesn't bring in the same amount of fans, butts and seats. And then that's less money you make at concessions, and it all adds up.
It does. It does. It does. It does. Do you guys think that college sports needs to make a change fast? Or do you think they'll just keep going in this direction of everything needs to make money, or else it's just going to get canceled?
I really hope that, I think you've already seen it. I mean, Trump, the presidency, they've already made issues on comments, and everyone has, we're blowing up about it. And it really needs to. I mean, I don't want to go into politics here, but capitalism, this is the capitalism that people just do not want to be a part of, because it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense, because like Saban went and, talk about people's education. Everyone's like, you never cared about people's education. No. You don't want people to get paid. That's not the issue. I don't understand why people are saying that's the issue.
Yeah.
We're trying to avoid the situations that, for say LSU did with, I know that was a coaching staff, but I mean, some of these guys, it's a ridiculous amount of money but you're wasting it. To me, you're wasting it, because it's like the whole one and done thing. I'm not going to care about your one and done.
No.
So they got to nip it in the butt, because these guys are making it's not the athletes. I think even the agents are making a crap ton of money off of these kids.
They are.
And, we're losing sponsorships to, there's no way none of this money is going to education. The education is even more of a second seat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Man, yeah, usually your NFL agents take anywhere, I believe, anywhere from 3 to 5%. I think NIL agents now, college athletes, are taking anywhere from 10 to 15% of what I've been told from athletes. They either have it or don't. So,
And they're also screwing these athletes. I mean, some of them are just missing out on opportunities, period,
Yeah.
because they get out of the portal. They go in the portal, no one's going to take them.
there's some great agents that give them great brand deals that give them the exposure that they want, that I believe NIL is there for. And you have the other side of the token of, sadly, them just wanting the kids' money, and it's really sad.
Yeah, what can you do about it?
That right there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I think us fans, we really do not have control over it, and it's
No,
And
It's-
NCAA doesn't have control over it.
No,
They cannot
no.
control the sport.
absolutely not.
No.
They're trying.
It's
They
now
are.
up to legislation. It's going to be a legislation
Exactly.
issue,
Has to be.
and that's a problem in itself because these politicians are making money anyway. So
ridiculous amount of money,
mean-
first of all.
the politicians and judges are letting these guys in the NBA come back and play college ball. So,
Yeah, it's a messed up world.
hey, it's
That hasn't happened
I-
yet. That hasn't
Not
happened
yet.
yet.
Not
I'm
yet,
telling you,
Bediako got struck down.
Well, he played.
hey, they're going to
Did
say
play.
this is
That's
America.
not
and do
because of
what
the
I want.
rules.
I know, but he did play.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways out of this. It's one's legislation,
Yeah,
and you basically give the NCAA all their power back through a bill,
Which I'm
that goes
scared
to
of.
Congress. The other option is you let all of the athletes collectively bargain, form a union and collectively bargain. What that does is it gets rid of every non-power school, because the power schools athletes are going to want a hell of a lot different things than
yes,
mid-major, low-major schools athletes are going to want, or even are worth. And so that will just break college sports up entirely. So I agree. The real only path back to getting it to where it was, even just 5 years ago, is through legislation.
Do you think it'll ever go back to? I don't think it'll ever go back to athletes not being paid, but I do think we need to take a very much of a step back of a 18-year-old getting millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's never going to go away.
That
I
was
know.
ridiculous.
But it's just wild to me.
But why?
It's wild.
I'm going to partially play devil's advocate here.
I know you are.
partially, I agree with the point I'm about to make. Why is an 18-year-old not allowed to get their fair market value for their talents?
I can't argue that. I can't. I can come up with a dumbass reason to argue it, but
No,
it's
I think
not.
the only
risky
argument is that
investment.
the fair
Yeah.
market values are they're just blown out of proportion right now. Like a freshman,
That
like
I'll agree with.
Bryce Underwood,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
quarterback at Michigan, came into college,
4.
went to Michigan because they paid him more than LSU was going to pay
Yeah.
him, and it was 4 years, 10 million or 12 million, something
Yeah.
like that. And every year he gets 2.5 or 3 million, whatever that breaks down to.
Yeah.
You paying a high school kid that amount of money when he has shown nothing to you is insane to me. Now, on the flip side, if you get, let's say Fernando Mendoza was going to go back in the portal this year and he was going to go somewhere.
Right.
That guy's worth 15 million to a college football team. If that was the scenario.
Yeah.
It's just that we've kind of blown out the numbers on the front end of things, and it's caused this domino effect to where now everybody is just making these inflated numbers.
I was gonna say, how do you come up with a fair market value though? Who determines that?
Well, I mean,
Like-
the way NIL was supposed to work is the car dealership down the road wants to sign you to a deal
Right.
to make a commercial for them. They're going to pay you
Yeah.
$10,000 for an hour of your time to make this commercial. Great. That's a guy actually using his name, his image, and his likeness
Right.
to
What we
make
thought
money
it
off
would
of
be.
himself. That's what it was supposed to be.
Right.
And instead it turned into collectives taking advantage of the loophole and paying these guys millions of dollars because donors were finally allowed to just pool all their money together and
Yeah.
funnel it toward the players.
It's
And that
just
ruined everything. Finding that loophole ruined the way we looked at and the way college sports operated.
Wait, you're telling me rich people find loopholes?
They're good at it.
Always one.
Crazy.
And look, it's gonna
Man.
they're gonna figure out another one because
Uh-huh.
it's just like our biggest guy is an insurance guy. He does Rex. So
Really?
you might just do
Wow.
something where, oh, I hope everyone wrecks today so I can pay for a quarterback.
Well, you didn't have enough for Sorsby because Texas Tech had to pay him more.
Well, car wrecks are way different than black gold.
Oil money.
Yeah.
This is true.
Sorsby, another guy, not worth that much.
No,
That's the
not
thing. You
six-
gotta
not
cap
6 million.
it. You have to cap it because you're really gonna run into the issue with you just like the Bryce Underwood thing. I thought that was like shooting
started it all.
beyond like
started
the
everything. in my opinion.
stratosphere of the highest level. So
Yeah.
now the next guy coming in as a freshman, he's like, oh, he got 18. I want 25. Like you're gonna keep on going up.
And it's crazy to me too. Like you have a lot of these coaches now that you're like, oh, you can't touch my players, don't DM my players. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say names on who's told me and who's not, but I mean, some of these players already know who they're going to next year. It's just it's insane, and they're telling people in the locker room. Like, how are you supposed to play a season when you know Joe Blow over there going to Pittsburgh, and you over here playing for West Virginia? Like, it's not. There's got to be an answer, and for what NIL was made for. Like, these collectives just got to get out. They have to get out.
Well, the collectives aren't legal anymore, but now the players
No.
get paid directly, and that's
what I mean.
that's a whole
They get
different-
revenue sharing, and it's just, I don't know. It'll be interesting where college sports heads, but I hope college basketball sticks to their guns and none of these NBA, G League, development league players try to come back because that's just not fair to other kids. It's just not. And I'm all for fairness at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
it's not right. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening. Appreciate you guys' support. Go to our Spotify, give us a 5-star review. It would mean the world to us. Even a review at all, be something, maybe a 4-star. But 5 stars would mean the world to us. Also, go to our YouTube, 5 Hours on Like and Finn. Like, comment, and subscribe. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts along with Spotify, like I just said. So show some love. And also go to our Instagram and X, 5LF Podcast, to find our latest reels. So we appreciate y'all. We will see you in the next one. Peace.
Go Tigers.
The 5 Arms and a Lucky Finn podcast.